Hello. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Alistair, Emilan, Fabhawk. It's been a while.
Been a minute.
It definitely has.
Foundry says 70 days.
Okay, yeah.
It's yeah. Twitch says 2 months. I think from the
the sound sounds all right.
Yeah.
I listened.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, the past session was yeah, probably 2 months. That sounds about right, maybe. What did it say on mine? I mean, I've done so much since last time. Yeah, 18th of February was the last session was saved, so it was probably a couple of days before that. Because I never save it on the day. So yeah, it's been a while. We kind of teased each other with a legend session, but it was just so hard to get that planned in as well, so that never happened. But finally, we are all three here. This is going to be as I mentioned to the players, this probably isn't going to be too long of a stream. It's just we wanted to squeeze something in so that we can get back into it and not go stale. But welcome back, everyone. We are definitely gonna need a recap.
Yeah. So last time we started out in Guard, I believe. Which we learned was called for Global Union Against the Apocalyptical Rank Danger, which is a very contrived name.
As all the other acronyms.
Yeah.
It's clear that someone clearly wanted to spell guard.
Reverse engineer. Yeah, we learned that and then that they were working primarily on the full threat.
Shield was taken.
Exactly. Yeah. So we went to DIREWOLF to check in on Bakari because we realized that he was probably a bit in danger because there was some sneaking suspicion that somebody was trying to get the Shadowfell or the Shadow Curse up and again, which we know exists currently in the head of Bakari, so we wanted to make sure he was Gucci. We found him there, and we met Zal Engris, which is, I believe, somebody from the first campaign.
Yeah, he was one of the NPCs in the first one.
Yeah, one of the other groups from the first campaign, and apparently Bakari was having a meeting with a really creepy guy called Mr. Vermes, and we asked him some questions, but it was very off-putting. Very much a what the fuck is the creepy guy called from Half-Life again?
G-Man.
G-Man, yes, very much a G-Man vibe.
That was even the voice I was trying to copy.
Yeah. And when we come in to ask Bakari that everything was fine, but asking about Vermes doesn't give us any straight answers. Gets us a little bit sus.
From college.
Yeah, exactly. Friend from work.
Yeah.
And I think Sarah talks to him a little in private as well, to make sure that he doesn't reveal too much to the others in the team about the curse, mostly for their protection. But he could also, apparently he was casting some spells as well while we were in the meeting, or afterwards when we told him Oh yeah, because we figured out that him casting Legend Lore basically awakened Merlin, apparently.
Mhm.
Yeah. See. Yeah. So we found out about the seed Kumail, which is like an old pact between the Fey Lords. Let's see. Oh right, and then we got the connect because the book that he was researching, Bakari was researching, was records written by Annabelle by the Order of the Phoenix, which was
Arabelle.
Legend's character, Arabelle, yeah. And the last lines were, "What have we done? We should not have killed her. What cometh now will be our end."
Here was Vermin's.
Hmm?
Didn't I show?
You did.
Yeah.
The show what?
Vermin's, his picture.
Oh right, yeah. And then yeah, so basically we got an inclination that the Order of the Phoenix is something we might want to investigate, and that maybe Penny knows something about it. There was some talk about a rebellion, but I don't in the notes, but I don't remember that. There seems to be a rebellion. The rebellion is also the origin of the veil. Is that the was that
between, I think it's the one between the Fae and the humans.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in
Right.
the Legends session, that is what was going on the plot. Because in the
right.
Legends session, your characters there were trying to find the leader of the rebellion.
Yeah, which was Titania, wasn't it?
So as far as you're assuming, at least, what you found was
Yeah.
the Jarl, who was a drake.
Yes, the dragon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a drake, and he said his queen.
Yeah.
But yeah, but your characters obviously kind of know this because we also established that Direwolf Legends is a TV show that does Supernatural
Yes.
Watch.
Yeah. And then we showed Bakari the symbol we found on the changelings back in the Fey realm, and it seems that that was, I think, where we first started to puzzle together that something was off with Bakari, because he seemed confused but says he's not seen it before. And then we prompt him that somebody might have done something with his memories, and he does a spell and confirms that yes, somebody has indeed messed with his memories. So we go back to Direwolf HQ with him. There he speaks with the commander and wants to check if Squirp has or wants Squirp to check if Thol have affected his memories, but yeah, we think otherwise. I think at that point we already felt that this was the weird guy. And then we finally have Rai telling Kaito about the side quest, about the murder, the murder arena.
Death Club.
Yes, the death club.
Not a murder arena.
Yeah.
Just a club that includes death.
Yep. Yeah. And Kaito agreed to help out.
What's so bad about that?
Yeah. I've
They
forgotten.
kept calling it a cult and not a club.
I've forgotten why you wanted to go there. I think it had something to do with your background.
Yeah, it's Rai is currently stuck only bending two elements, while she feels she should have access to air, and can't figure out why, and made the mistake of asking a Dragon Monk sensei for advice.
Do you want to be the avatar?
No,
and
she just wants access to her home element.
yeah, his tip was basically to just go let out some aggression. But apparently what you were doing wasn't good enough, so you need to let out more aggression.
Yeah. So then we get an API ping about coming to the R&D lab because we have apparently gotten our watches. There we see that Martine is talking with Vermis, so Vermis has somehow gotten here as well. And there, when we ask questions about Martine and Vermis, we get a lot of the same answers that we got with Bakari, and they seem to repeat. So, yeah, now it was getting very spicy. So Zara manages to touch his arm this time and manages to read that there is nothing there. No mind. And
Query comes back null.
Yeah.
When we try to stop him from leaving, he just keeps moving. And Rai tries to intercept, and that's where
Yeah, he had that awkward anime sneak out the door when Rice stood in the doorway, and he just like.
It wasn't as much intercept as he was being a weird creep, and Rai just didn't move.
Yeah.
He tried to stare Rai down. Rai didn't move, so he just shuffled out the door.
Yeah, so we ran to get to have Harriet close down the HQ, and we catch him at the lobby just as he was about to go out, and we start fighting and realize that that is a challenging fight, very difficult to land any hits. It isn't until Jeremiah crits with not a crit, which is fun. That indicates for us that his AC is a little spicy.
Yeah,
because he rolled a nat 20 and didn't get a crit.
Yeah. And that's when his skin cracked, and Zara probably in a horrifying moment realized that the reason your hard side didn't work is because you were touching dead skin. It didn't belong to him.
He was just being puppeted by maggots.
Yes.
Yay. It wasn't Mr. Vermis, he was Mr. Vermin.
Yep.
Yay!
Yay. So yeah.
With
that's the recap.
I'm glad none of you at least you didn't speak up about it, but Burmese is, I believe it's French for worm. So
yeah, that makes sense.
The French have a bunch of weird last names. I thought about it. I mean, I figured, okay, he's a weird, creepy, slimy guy. Of course, he's been named Worm.
Yeah, like who calls their child Worm Tongue? Like, but yeah, so that was a spicy
yeah. Who
session.
does call them Worm Tongue? That's
I mean, even his Worm Tongue's first name Grima isn't exactly a nice name.
No, Grim.
Yeah, or Grime.
Grime. Ugh.
Yeah. But yes. So let us go to HQ. Activate. And I'm going to go to Soundscape. Oh, it didn't start. Okay, good. Because even I was getting annoyed with the
PA.
Can you move me down to the lobby? I was back in the lobby.
What? You're back in the lobby?
Yeah, because I am on here. I am up in the office, but I did run back to the lobby for the fight.
Yeah, you should be able to move yourself, but I think it.
No, you're pausing the game.
Oh, right, sorry.
Prima's thinking we're not allowed to move.
Yeah, Vermees is also not there, so he's gone. But yeah, so that was a spicy end, and the last thing that happened after you cracked his skin he did not seem pleased with this at all, and he managed to sliver out through the closing security door as he literally just became a pile of worms.
Yeah.
I want to know: do I still have to try and keep the security door open, or has the suggestion task been accomplished?
Oh right, yeah, because he cast suggestion on you.
Yeah.
Right. I will immediately at least turn to Sarah and go, can you hack the CCTV cameras outside?
I don't need to hack them, they're ours. I can just ask.
Okay, fine. Hack them. There he is.
Yeah, I think, Rye, yeah, you are trying. Like this isn't gonna be like any mechanical penalty, but you are trying to the extent that when it does close, your fingers are bleeding and you're like clawing at the door for a moment, for like a minute or two until you like snap out of it and realize that you've been
is it possible
controlled.
to? Is it like in D&D that you can hit someone to break them out of suggestion, or is that just
No.
something they do?
No, not
No, I failed, so the spell has a duration for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
So,
unless
Kaito would
anyone
know
of
this, probably.
you can cast dispel magic at a high enough level to remove it, I'm just gonna be stuck trying to open the fucking door.
Yeah, but it
Too
doesn't
bad this
last long.
game where I'm a magus.
Yeah, as I said, like it only lasts for a minute, and then
Yeah.
when you're done, you just like stop, realize that like you've been controlled. You see your nails and fingertips are like bloody.
Hey, Rye, what the fuck? What happened?
Spell?
Looks like some kind of magic. Can I do a Arcana check or something or magic check to sort of explain this?
I can
hadn't
do
heard.
actually.
I mean, yeah, like you already assume that the guy has some kind of mind control stuff, considering Bakari and Martine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, with your Arcana check, you're pretty sure that like okay, whatever he does for a living, he did it to Rai as well. Clearly it wasn't as strong because it wore off on
Did you
Rai already.
see?
I'm also
Did you
sitting
see
down
any
into
somatic
the
components? Did you see him move his hands at all, or did he just speak to you and then you just had to obey him?
I didn't have the time to notice that. I was trying to burn him.
Would be valuable knowing what sort of caster he is.
Yeah, well,
Seems
I'm
quite
not
powerful.
I don't know that shit.
What were you trying to say, Papa?
Kaito is like, because he's basically been running from the IT lab up to Harriet and then down here.
Yeah.
He's gonna sit at the couch, like the entry couch for people that are usually waiting to get in.
Yeah.
And just like put his cane aside, just like, I need to stop doing that. Why do I even have this cane if I'm not gonna use it?
Zara has has gone up to the lobby kind of like computer. Probably it's probably like a desk, and is like logging in with her credentials.
Yeah. Yeah,
and is going to quickly sort of get access to the security cams to see if she can see any where the worms went, but I doubt we're gonna find anything. It's just
I update Harriet through my watch, so that she's aware and can do her own things she wanna do.
Yeah, so oh, now it started. Soundscape. Stop. So yeah, so you update Harriet. Takes a bit of a time before you get a response, and when you do, you can like hear that she probably just cursed quite a lot from her voice, as she's like seems a bit out of breath suddenly, and says, Okay. I'll reopen the security doors. Do a quick sweep of the parking, but I doubt you'll find anything. I'll send
Yeah, and
a
also if
full
we
team.
do, we're not going to be able to deal with it.
She's talking to me on my watch.
Oh.
She's not there.
Yeah. But yeah, you get that at least to give it a quick sweep, and she'll send a full team.
Yeah. Also, potentially see if you guys can lock down on Dr. Martin, because he's definitely also been mind wiped. So they got some kind of information from him too.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is
copy.
bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is real
Yeah,
bad.
no,
And
this
then
is very bad. We don't know what information
The
they got.
doors start to open again.
As soon as
so-
I can get out under the doors, I get out under the doors.
Mm-hmm. So you
And
get
you
out
see
into
suddenly like a shadow, like a dog, also suddenly just jump out from below your feet. Like it was always there, but hadn't moved for a while, and like chase outside as well.
Okay, that's fucking weird, but sure. Not the weirdest thing that happened to me today.
Yeah, like you don't even know all the agents here in the building. Like you're not really surprised at seeing weird stuff in the building. Like literally one day you were walking around one of your first days here and you were like, okay, human. Oh, look, an elf. Human. A frog who's saying good morning. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
so
No,
yeah.
nothing really surprises anymore.
So you get out into the parking lot and give it a search around and roll me a perception, everyone. Actually, I should have just used the Marco thing, but oh well, I forgot. Okay, good. So yeah, you have a search around and Zara, you find a couple of worms. Level your gun at them. And after just like a few seconds, after a few seconds, you just see that like it just looks like a normal worm. It doesn't seem to be
I'm
doing
gonna
much.
I'm gonna take one for study and observation, anyways, just to make sure there's nothing real weird and fucky going on.
Can I do an Arcana check or magic check on what do I know about worm creatures, hive mind things?
Yeah, you can.
Some kind of
Also-
recall knowledge. I don't know which skill would be the most efficient for that.
Yeah. Also, I forgot to introduce a character, so I'll just slowly do it now as you do things. So
Okay.
yeah. So Kaito,
Right.
you can go ahead and give me a some kind of check. Indeed. Let's see what kind of check makes sense.
Recall knowledge. Wait, should I just do recall knowledge?
Yeah, you can just do a recall knowledge. There's a Marco for that, so it should do it.
Yeah, I have the basic action move thingies. So
Yeah.
that's like good or bad.
Oh, no, that's good.
Okay.
I was just like, for a second there, I forgot that Pathfinder numbers are not capped. Because I was just like, oh, that's some spicy numbers. Do you have any? Because I can't remember. Do you have any kind of how should we say it? Extraordinary aids or senses or detect magic or
Magic. I have shape changer's intuition.
yeah, I know you have the shape changer's intuition. I know that one. Do you have anything else?
Has resilience. Let's speed up. Not out of my normal ones.
That's fine.
Just checking if I had any spells. No, sadly.
No, it's fine. It's still a pretty good roll, and with your shape changer's intuition, that does help a bit, though not as much. It doesn't give you much about hive minds, but you're guessing that for him to maintain like the human form, he would have had to have some kind of like shape changing adjacent control as well, because a pile
Yeah,
of
because
worms just
mine
can't just
didn't
fit into a.
actually. Yeah, because my shape changing intuition did not go off in
No,
the laboratory,
no,
which
it
means
didn't.
it's not a normal shape changing ability.
No. But now that you know what he is, you're like, okay, he must have some. It must have been some, not an actual shape changer, but some kind of adjacent form control.
Yeah, and
Some shape that takes change.
Yeah.
yeah, and we learned last time from I can't remember if it was Bakari that said it or if we learned that earlier. That yeah, we learned that earlier that the design from the changelings, which might be related to this, came from Ensomi.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah, the the
So-
the villains, yeah, they have a mark
Yeah.
on their hand.
And
or-
Asumi was a shapeshifter, so
a sort of shapeshifter, let's just call it that.
Pathfinder and D&D lore on shape changers and changelings are not the same. So,
Also,
but yeah, I
we are
relay
neither
this information to
yeah.
everyone.
Also, this campaign is neither in Galarian nor in Forgotten Realms, so
Yep.
Pathfinder and
Yeah, yeah,
D&D shape changers are irrelevant.
I know, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I played a whole draw, so
Yeah.
at one point.
Yep. So yeah, you but when it comes to hive minds, you don't have any specific knowledge. It's hard to tell. You've heard of like the Thule, how they have kind of a hive mind thing going, but that's more like you have like a commander who mind controls an army, and so he
Mhm.
controls the whole army. This seems different. It didn't seem like he was like part of a big thing. He seemed like an individual, but he was somehow just a pile of worms. So it's kind of a different kind of hive mind from the one that you've learned about, which would have been the Thule.
Yeah,
Yep.
the tool is hive mind control, not hive
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. Uh, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. You after a short while, another team comes to help search and secure the area, and someone has like a glass jar to put the worm you found, Zara, into,
Mhm.
and quickly hurries it off to the R&D lab where they can lock a jar with a normal worm inside a pentagram.
Hey, we don't know if it's a normal worm.
No, I know. I'm just imagining the imagery.
The visual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it
It's
is a
amusing.
normal worm until it gets taken over.
Yeah.
Don't give the DM good ideas.
So yeah, it seems like the lead goes dry for now, though. And there's not much more to do in the parking.
So now, though, we have to put out some APBs. Have you seen this man? Highly dangerous. Do not let him in. That kind of thing to
Yeah.
Direwolf and its subsidiaries.
So that is something you do notice, though, that could be worth the research, because when you come back into the lobby from the parking, because you obviously rushed out to try and chase him, somehow most of you just overlooked, but in front of the door is a skin suit. It's a pile of skin.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
also
there can be a new
also
skin
in
suit.
a suit. Like,
Yeah, a skin suit
We
in the
ID this person?
suit on the skin. Yeah, who this was originally.
Yeah, if it was someone, because it might have been someone.
Yeah. I think we need to do that, and we need to figure out where he was, if it was only Bakari, or if he's been elsewhere too.
Yeah, we need to figure out who this originally was and where this iteration of him have been.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so a team carefully tries to scoot the remains into some kind of container, almost vomiting in the process. I mean, as far as you can tell, it is actual skin, not just like a plastic suit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So it's very, very gross, but they do manage to get it into a container and carry that off to the R&D lab as well. And Kaito, you get a message from Harriet on your phone.
Yep.
Because technically, also don't forget that Jeremiah is with you now as well.
Yeah.
So Harriet says to ask you to just split your team in two. Send the two who are most able to help in the R&D lab to go and talk to Martine and see how they can offer aid. The other two come to me.
I'm gonna go to Harriet then.
Yeah, I'm assuming Jeremiah and Zara will go to R&D.
Mm-hmm.
That is fine for me.
Yeah, and then the other two of you go up.
Like Kaito isn't an idiot when it comes to those kinds of things, but like Zara's really good at. So.
And Jeremiah has money.
Yes, he does. I mean, he is doing research.
And as we've
on what
learned
his
from
father was
Batman.
doing research on.
Yeah.
So
We learned that.
Also,
from
as we
Batman.
learned from Batman,
Yeah.
it's superpower.
What did we learn, kids? If you inherit lots of money, you can save the world, one villain at a time.
most people just don't. Looking at you, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Most become villains.
Yeah.
Looking at you,
Yeah.
Elon Musk. Looking at you, Jeff Bezos.
Mm-hmm. But yes, so let's start in the R&D lab with let me find the splash screen again. Splash screens, players, show players. Zara.
Yeah.
Oh, I showed the entire thing.
That's the entire players.
Yeah. It's fine. You've seen them all before. It's just for stream. I kind of wanted to show just Zara. There you go. Show players. There you go. So Zara, you go to the R&D lab with Jeremiah and see that Lore is already kind of not quite interrogating, but like doing lots of scans. If you remember, Lore has 4 arms, so he's like doing 4 different scans at the same time. His computer brain able to process the data from all the different inputs. As he's Martine is like sat in like a leaning back in a chair with all these machines, and Lore, seeing you come in and being informed of what's going on, he tells you that interestingly, it does not seem directly Thule technology based or their psionic powers, but there is something similar with it.
Similar? That doesn't sound good.
I am assuming this Mr. Vermes is somehow a psionic creature, though he is not Thule.
Right.
From my understanding, though, the Thule would often employ similar psionic creatures as long as their missions
Subservient. Okay. So yeah, because I've got a sort of strange eldritch vibe of this creature. So I'm just wondering if it has anything to do with the cultists and Somi.
Hmm.
I think it does, and that worries me greatly.
Interesting. He shimmies over to a computer terminal and
I mean, you knew Zombie, didn't you?
we had met indeed, but I did not have her backstory, so to speak.
No,
He
few people did.
he lifts his palm up to the terminal and you see a little USB plug comes out of his palm. He just sticks it in and okay, I have read her file. Much was unknown about Nozomi, but indeed, that one seemed like what you would call a cultist.
Yep.
Oh,
And
Zoe
then-
was technically an anti-cultist, but you know.
Bear in mind also that the black spots was mostly shared between you and Guard and Harriet. So he will then, bearing that in mind, he will then ask, what makes you think Nozomi is involved in this?
And Zara kind of like it goes up a little closer and just like looks around at like Dr. Martine or whatever. It's like, okay, look, listen. I'm gonna trust you with this because, well, no one else in Direwolf knows as much as you about this. So it would be quite. Look at this, and then shows the image of the spots. We found this on some of the cultists
You can.
in the Feywild.
So this is an interesting one. I want you to read his expression by rolling a computer check.
Oh shit! I rolled it. Hang on. So
Yeah,
let me roll
do
it.
it. Do it one. He's seen it before. You're not entirely sure how, but he doesn't like. Just somehow, the way he processed it is like, oh yeah, I have an index for that already.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. So somehow he was
yeah.
like, oh, he's seen that before.
Sarah paces a little. It's like, so, fill the beans, lore. What do you know about it?
Spill the lore beans.
Spill the lore beans. Many Mariti have found such a symbol upon Thule, though not all Thule. It seems, as far as we could understand, there was a certain, how should we say, sub-faction within the Thule that saw higher purpose in their intergalactic dominion. What you would call a religion or cult.
Hmm. So not only is this potentially Thol related, but it's full cult related. Oof. The Venn diagram of this has suddenly become very concerning. Okay. When was the last time you heard from them? Like, what do you know about them? This cult.
I have not been informed of their, my words. Talking like a robot is hard because you need to have fancy words. I have not been aware of them being on Earth. And since I was dormant on your moon for several centuries, my awareness of them is still dodgy. Martine has helped me restore much of my memory banks, but not all. I'm just trying to find Direwolf. See what else he can tell you. From our understanding, though, their lust for dominion, this Thule cult, was to feed a great devourer, what they would consider their deity.
Mm. Yeah. Okay. A great devourer, huh? Thematically, that kind of tracks with a worm creature, I suppose.
Hmm.
Fucking hell. Okay. But why are they interested in... kind of stops herself.
He kind
Why
of
was he here? What was he doing?
he kind of tilts his head a bit, and you can see like the little scan lines in his eyeballs,
Mm-hmm.
like trying to analyze.
Sometimes I gotta just gotta play up the fact that Zara isn't great at deception, you know?
Yeah, that's fine. He says, while I am not entirely sure of his conversations with Martine, I believe he was searching for something related to his deity, which Martine, or at least Mr. Vermes believed, Martine knew where this was.
Hey, you're you're like kind of like a wizard, right? You've got spells and stuff. Do you think you
Affirmative.
could like dispel whatever he did to Martine so that he could remember?
I am in the process currently. As you like, how, what? And you look around, you see that his arms are rotated the other way, and he's casting a spell behind his back.
Ah. Very
Intrude
useful.
to cast during a conversation.
yeah. What's up with wizards and casting during conversations? I thought that was a sorcerer thing. They have subtle magic, you know? But yeah, so Zara goes, okay, well, I think that's going to yield us the most interesting information if we can get that. Do you need any help?
Negative. I have this under control.
Hmm.
You could, however, try and review the security footage. There might be something telling
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah, well,
one of his top arms gestures towards the terminal that you can use.
yeah. My personal account doesn't have access to the internal security cameras. Ugh. Not high enough
He
clearance level. I suppose yours have.
you see one of his top arms that are on the front currently like whips out a spell book,
Mm-hmm.
opens it up, it begins to hover, and you see this hologram of an alien comes out of it.
Ah!
And the hologram continues casting the spell as he goes over to the terminal with you.
Oh my god, I've heard of this! This is how you concentrate on two different spells at once, isn't it?
Affirmative.
Ah, I'm so jealous! Kind of follows. You know, I have to learn some of your tricks sometimes. I know I'm not a robot, but I'm pretty smart. I can do some pretty complicated stuff too.
That can be arranged. I have, from my understanding, the way I manipulate the weave is similar to how mortals do it. It should not be impossible to translate.
Yeah.
And he logs into the terminal
Great.
using his credentials,
Mm-hmm.
and then turns to you and says, "While my knowledge is broad and wide, I believe your earthen technology is best suited for your hands. I have other things that my expertise can be used for."
Yeah, like making sure Martine remembers what the fuck the creepy man said to him. All right, get to it, Tin Can. I'll be here and nerding out over some video footage, like some fraternity bro watching a movie marathon.
Actually, I am a meteorite titanium alloy, not tin.
It was a joke.
What about?
As you hack, we're not going to do that roll yet. We are going to go to the other team, who is in the commander's office, and that is Kaito and Rai, and I want to show Rai's picture this time.
Hello.
Bakari and Scorp, who is also technically there. They are elsewhere. Don't mind them. Scorp is probably like he's helping Bakari with the same thing, like to analyze and help him recover his memories. Meanwhile, you two arrive in the office with Harriet.
Right. So that went entirely to shits.
Yeah, didn't go great.
Harriet says like, I checked the security logs and apparently this Mr. Vermes had been coming here frequently over the past month or so.
How did they
And
get clearance?
that I'm trying to find out. But apparently he had a badge and a clearance access to Direwolf. I'm trying to discover how this happened.
Does the clearance match the bodysuit? And you can see like he's not enjoying saying that.
You see it because she's got an eye patch, but you see her other eye closes as she takes a deep breath. We haven't managed facial recognition yet.
Oh, actually, I can help with that. Because I've seen him in the body thing. Where do we need to do the facial recognition? Because I can help with that.
She just turns her monitor screen around, and you see the ID of the user that had been coming in and out of the building. You see it's kind of similar to what Vermes looks like.
Okay, I do shifting faces because I can get illusionary disguise for an hour,
Mm.
and I turn into what he looks like when he was here, and trying to like see if make sort of Harriet and Rai can more easily check instead of the dead and mangled skin suit thing.
So Harriet just like, I'll never get used to that. As she pulls out from her drawer like a little scanner thing, plugs it into a computer and scans you, Kaito.
Mhm.
And you see like on the screen it turns up as match. Like and Rai, you're seeing that Kaito, even in this disguised form, doesn't look entirely like the picture. It's like, oh, it's a middle-aged man with dark hair, but it's not like, you can see that like they might be brothers, but they're not exactly the same. But it's still saying
Okay.
match.
Interesting.
Right.
So it depends. Is this like the badge? Does that belong to a real person that did have clearance, or is it still someone that fake made it? That is something we need to figure
She
out.
turns her
And if that
screen.
was someone else, we need to figure out who that is.
She turns her screen back. I do not believe he was a real agent, but it seems the user was created legitimately through standard means.
Okay, so we should figure out who the real Vermes was.
Who made
I'm
the
assuming
fake?
his dad.
Yes, and who's also made the fake badge?
Yeah, and how he got access.
Yes,
You,
because there might be at worst at least one spy in here that's still working for them that we have not weeded out yet.
Yeah. What information do we have on his credentials? Is there an address?
She
Also, what was the clearance level?
It was just a standard low-rank agent.
Okay.
Enough to get into the building, but that's about it. I assume to
Sorry,
not
I
draw too
interrupted
much
you.
attention. She pauses for a moment and looks up and says, "Okay, so according to this, he was a graduate of a university in France, a smaller off-branch of DIREWOLF, and transferred to London 2 months ago, but didn't start entering the building until last month, probably keeping his distance and learning what he could." Hmm. Interesting.
What?
It seems now, I am not entirely sure how much of this data is correct or fabricated, but it seems he was, before transferring to London, he was on a task force that was related to Black Fox, the private military group. As you
Black Fox is
know,
cropping up more and
We've
more.
been acquainted.
as you know, we do not agree with Black Fox's methods, but from time to time we have been forced to associate with them. Seems he was
Right.
assigned to the group that did such dealings.
So Black Fox might or might not be involved.
That's
Well, we
odd.
know we know Black Fox is involved in the other half of the mess. So
Out of game, can you remind me how they were involved in the other part again?
they were looking for Zoe as well.
Right.
And knew who Zoe was, apparently.
Yes, they did, and the person had one. Well, they were after the
And
death
probably
list,
killed her parents.
yes, at least that aspect of it. Okay. Yeah, we also, us as Kitsune, do not like Black Fox because, Black Fox does not like any magical creatures at all.
Black Fox are pieces of shit and appropriating the good name
Yeah,
of
I
foxes.
was gonna say.
I agree. I firmly nod along to your outburst. Okay. And there's at least research to potentially be done with whatever, if we could request some information logs from the Grey Wolf of in France's
Yeah. But
branch. See what
does that
information
mean
they
that
have.
he has a separate address here in London if he's not staying on the compound?
Correct. He has a listed address. I will have a team sent to investigate.
Good.
Meanwhile, and Timon, thank you. You do. She kind of turns away from the keyboard. Are you aware of the origins of Black Fox?
I don't think so.
No.
Black Fox was founded and funded by one of our own, gone rogue. Your teammate, Zara, is very keenly aware of a rogue agent called Evan Eccrestem. Back, I can't remember how many years ago, in the time,
In the before times.
in the before times, before the Human Rights Acts, where there was a division of wolf called Timberwolf, among the things they did, they experimented on the skilled individuals who wished to contribute more to Direwolf. Gave them, or attempted to give them, more abilities. I assume you've all seen enough Marvel to know who Captain America is. Think of that, but not as successful
Or humane.
or humane. Evan Ekström was one such agent. His face became blurred, and while it was useful in some situations, him not being able to ever see his face again in the mirror slowly drove him angry, borderline insane, and he sought revenge. He founded Black Fox and wanted to cease and get rid of all supernatural activity. Ironically, he ended up teaming up with Kentimentu. Not entirely sure why he chose that, but likely it wasn't likely it was against his own will. Kentimentu was a strong individual too. The point
And
is,
this Evan still out there?
he was killed before we could recover him. Another one of our own, corrupted by Kentimentu, took the final shot. I assume it was to prevent Kentimentu's plans from being leaked out. We think we need to investigate Black Fox a bit more. If they are onto Zoe and somehow had contact with this vermes, we might want to try and turn one or bring one into the dog pound. Now, capturing a high-ranking officer of Black Fox will not be easy. Most of them carry means of suicide if in the event of being captured. But we do have an associate of theirs that might be able to tip us on some of their hideouts.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to send, as I said, a team to the Vermes apartment. I wish for you, Kaito, and your team to go to the dog pound and speak with the jailer there.
Very well.
I will let him know that you are coming.
Yes. I not so subtly, or well, probably subtly, share a look with Rai.
You get a little ping. You get a little ping on your watch, and you see that it's a navigation to the dog pound that she just sent you.
Good morning. Next,
You're cutting out a bit, Shavok?
I said it got marked on a map, like a next quest in a video game.
Yep. Right.
Gosh, this is gonna put back my Japan tour so much more.
Yeah. You are dismissed.
Okay, thank you.
Zara, you can roll a computer.
Computer law.
So yeah, you manage to scrub through, and not only do you manage to scrub through and find some footage, you quickly type up a little batch script to compare footages automatically and manage to get a hold of every single clip of vermies coming in and out of Direwolf. You rolled a nat 20.
Nice.
So
I'm a
you,
professional.
you're a professional. So you get all the clips and you skim through them all and compare them, and you can tell that most of the visits seem to be a part of the brainwashing routine. He would come in, he would ask like arbitrary R&D orders, right? Just like standard things just to get into the room. He would have a standard little chit chat with Dr. Martine, like, oh, how's the weather? How's the wife? Blah, blah, blah. Like Martine doesn't have a wife, and he would answer that he's not married. But it's always the same questions every time, and it seems like Martine doesn't remember the previous conversation. So whenever Vermes comes in, he repeats the exact same questions, gets the exact same answers, and Martine doesn't react like you've asked this a lot of times now, right? He doesn't react to that. So it seems like this is like it seems like this is part of the brainwashing that he's establishing like a pattern kind of thing, and wiping the memory as well, so it becomes a subconscious thing instead of an active memory thing. And then after he's been doing this for several weeks, like once a day for several weeks, he starts breaking up the questions and starts sneaking in some new stuff. And it's not until a couple of days ago where one of the questions was so you were active when, actually hang on, he says, so Mr. Kari, no, sorry, Martin, you were active as a researcher during the Uxmal incident, is that correct? And then Martin answers, of course, yeah, blah, blah, blah. He was involved in the whole Uxmal and Kentimentu thing. And so you knew of the agents involved in that as well. I believe it was a Lusa and a Naslatnik and Vrask and Bakari. You knew them, correct? Martin obviously replies that yes, he knew them. And Vermes just continues, that is fascinating. I am a big fan. Oh, how is your wife? And then you see that, like, he goes back into the routine, right? He's trying to not push it too far. And then the next day he asks the same question about the Uxmal and stuff and knowing the people. And then the third day he finally asks, are you still in contact with them? From what I understood from reading the reports, they spent time in the Shadowfell. Is that correct? And then quickly again changes the subject, goes back into the routine. And then the last day, before you busted him, he asks, I am sure you had lots of interesting research data from the agents coming back from the Shadowfell. Is that correct? And then the day you busted him, it seems like he was trying to pun intended, he was trying to worm his way into seeing the research data from the Shadowfell and the Unseelie. And you can tell that he was trying to find out what happened to the curse. Like, you're assuming, at least, he's trying to find out what happened to the curse because he's very interested in the research data Martine had on the team from the previous season when they came back from the Unseelie.
So basically, yeah, no, it confirms that like this is one of the factions that want to release the Shadowfell curse again. Though we think that from what I remember, our characters think there's two different factions that might want this, like this one and potentially Merlin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There might even be more, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then we need to figure out from what we can tell, he didn't get this data itself, but we might have to
No,
figure
because
out what he
it
got
seems
from
like
Bakari.
you managed to interrupt him. Indeed.
So,
But from basically, again, you got a crit from studying all this footage. You
yeah.
can guess that Vermes doesn't know where the Shadowfell curse is. You can guess that he was trying to probe Martin
Yeah.
because he knows Martin would have gone through and researched the Unseelie and its effect on the players or the characters from the previous season. And he knows Bakari would have been there because it's not public
Yeah, he was one of the
knowledge
agents, and he's the only.
yeah, it's because like again, it's not public knowledge as in the whole world, but it's public knowledge within the supernatural
Yeah.
world that the heroes who stopped Kentimentu were the four, right? It not five,
And
if you include
he's also the
Karga.
most accessible one.
Exactly, because
Bakari.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one still directly connected to Direwolf.
yeah. So you can assume that's why he was trying to probe those two. But as far as you can tell, until Squirp tells what he got from Bakari, of course, you're not sure. But from what you've seen on the footage, it doesn't seem like he had managed to get what he was after.
Okay, that's good. That is very good.
I can't remember. Did our talk with Bakari confirm that he still has the Shadow Curse safe?
I think you did confirm that, yes, because Zara had a little one-on-one with Zal, I think, seem to remember.
Yes.
She talked through message.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
because which we knew they did, but we were fine with it because we knew that was sensitive information that we really shouldn't know.
Yeah. And that's kind of why Zal is there as well. He's there to protect Bakari. So you
bang up job, Zal.
I mean, he didn't
I
know
think he's
Vermes
gonna
was a verm.
Yeah. Well, from now on, we got to devise the best way to foil these telepathic psionic bullshitters is through digital means, because they can't mind control a camera.
Yep, I can't mind control. So basically, send Jessica and Lore out on missions because Jessica's an android.
Yeah,
and Laura's an android.
Or just have make sure that there is like cameras or somebody. The one thing I remember, I don't know which campaign this was, but we instituted.
Everyone buys a drone.
No, but everybody has like a recording device to record all their conversations when they meet someone, because then you can always, like, if there's something that's like, hang on, wait, this person has a foggy memory of what happened when they talked to this other person, and then you can just listen to the recording. It's like, hey, wait a minute, I don't remember that conversation happening. It's like, bam, gotcha.
Only do meetings through Zoom.
Yeah. Oh, it's the Vampire the Masquerades one, right? Because we were literally dealing with. We figured out that one of the people that we were quote unquote friends with was apparently Helen of Troy.
Okay.
And this is a modern in a modern setting, and she was manipulative as fuck, and she would basically continuously make us forget conversations. So we started recording her, and it was so funny because she was like this slim, like super powerful, schemy vampire, foiled by a little recording device constantly.
Nice.
I mean, that is literally the story of Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so we got to do something similar. But okay, so there's no leads on my end then, at least what to do next.
No. So before we continue though, I'm going to say we take a quick break because I've snoozed the ads 3 times now because we were lore dumping.
Yep.
So I'm going to say a quick 5-minute
break. Lore was dumping.
And Lore was dumping. dumping his repository.
Uh,
Be right back.
Mm-hmm.
Burb.
Yeah, gonna go get.
That was spontaneous music.
And now for something completely different.
That wasn't meant to happen. Anyway, we are back. Right, so yeah, you got a bit of information there. You have been asked to go to the dog pound and talk to the jailer. And
We
yeah.
have been asked to go to the dog pound.
Yeah, and seeing as our best lead so far, or will not even, I don't know if it's call it a lead, but at least it's something specific.
Do
Mm,
we
okay.
want to wait for Squiggles detangling of Bakari?
Yeah. Well, it depends how long is it say it's gonna take.
Mm.
Yeah, so sorry, I have zoned out a little bit. Why were we going to the dog pound specifically for this? Who were we going to talk to? What were we going to talk to the jailer about?
Harriet
the-
told us to go to the dog pound and talk to the jailer.
Yeah. So she said that they have a Black Fox soldier, his
Associate.
associate, who might be able to help you find out some of their safe houses. You
Okay.
did
Do
find.
we have a?
Sorry, do we have a what?
No, continue.
Yeah, you did find a map when you were chasing Zoe. You did find a map
Right.
with safe houses, but you can that was quite a while ago now, so you can pretty much assume that they have been abandoned.
Well, then we need to figure out if the one we have in the dog pound is like has been there for longer than a map, because then his or her information might be outdated as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I guess like we got our way into the dog pound, and I looked to Rye. I'm assuming we are somewhere safe.
So yeah, you would probably then be in your dorm because your rooms are adjacent.
Because that's one lead. We also need to get information about what he tried to get out of Bakari. That's the second one. What other threats do we have? It's good to just try and make sense of them.
I mean, then we also need to. There's still the Ensomi connection. We don't know what's up with that entirely.
I'm assuming Sarah told us what you found out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So,
And then there's Merlin.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because Merlin seems to also, from what we could tell, be very unhappy with the situation right now. But these things attacked, and Merlin defended as well, right? Against.
Yeah. So he's
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
not on side.
So he's not on their side. So he might wanting to release it somehow, but definitely not in the same way that whatever these Thule cult things are.
He's not on their side for now.
Yeah. But like, Yeah, no, we do have the face side we might want to try and investigate somehow. Also, like, I really do need to plan this freaking Japan trip, but like this is definitely taking precedence. Oh my gosh. Kaito's gonna try and figure out if there's anything information that he could potentially try and get in Japan. Like basically, can he combine this with a research trip about anything that would be relevant to him?
So yeah, you could easily basically just tell Miranda Harriet that you want to go for the Orochi connection because the cultists did summon 2 copies of Orochi.
Yeah.
To try
and I
and
do
hunt
want to
you.
talk to Seimei as well as my temple, because they might have more information now. Because it did seem like they, after our encounter with Orochi, might be more willing to give us some information from them.
Yeah, because Seimei. Actually, that reminds me. Did you get the email?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I know I
we
said it to you meta, but I don't think Kaito got it yet.
Yeah, no, we decided that he was getting it during the fight.
Yes. So yeah, you probably then notice that you have a
Yeah, no,
you
at the beginning of this session, I forgot exactly when he got it, but like now I'm
Yeah.
remembering.
Yeah,
So
it was
he would have, at some point after talking with Harriet, he would have probably read the email, and now he's trying to plan it together.
Yeah,
Slight
that's what
retcon there.
that's what I'm thinking. So
Like yes, no,
for
he has read it.
yeah, for the stream though, do you want to read it? Or should I read it?
Yes, actually, I forgot that no one else had seen this.
Mhm.
So
I
Kaito, we'll look at you guys. Kind of go, yeah. I got feedback from my seimei because I was on basically in DIREWOLF through them.
Yeah.
And then through the entire Orochi investigation stuff. They seemed very happy with us taking out 2 of the heads, and wanted to I'm just gonna read, like I haven't read this in like a while.
there you go. It's shared in game as well.
Yes. Yes. So they want a task force about Orochi and stuff. And want me to be part of it from their end, though still being, of course, here with you guys. And I think we can potentially get a lot more information, because they did not give me a lot of information in the beginning. So, since Orochi did originate in Japan, they might have some useful clues about the entire situation. And I think it would be good to try and get there. So, I mean, if you guys would like to join the trip, I don't see why not.
Yeah. That's also quite useful. So the dog pound first though, or
Yeah. No, this is gonna take a couple of days of preparation. I need to give them a heads up for when I'm arriving as well. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And if you guys wanna, like, Kaseme is just a branch of Direwolf by this point.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
So basically,
subsidiary,
if other
but
people want to do some research that's more easily available there, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad thing. So yeah, I would say good dog pound first, then I'll give them basically a feedback on this, and we plan a couple of days in Japan to get some more info.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the agents might be going to Japan again, as George Lucas might say.
Again.
It's like poetry;
Yes.
it rhymes.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so you're gonna head to the dog pound.
Yes.
Okay. So after a brief prep, toilet break and grabbing a quick snack and meal and heading off again, you head over to the dog pound, which is an undisclosed location normally, that you have been granted access to on this occasion. And see, let me just do a quick sort here. And yeah, you arrive there, and it's like this waste disposal facility. But then there's like a secret door kind of thing, and then there's scans in the hallway, and then when you get down through an elevator, you get into a lobby with like armed security and turrets, and manage to check in. and you can see that this place is super high security. And get into the like first section, which is kind of like where the guards are stationed and stuff, and find your way to the I said jailer, but obviously it would have been the warden would be the correct term. So you head to the warden, and he greets you and says that he's been expecting you.
I greet him back. Thank you for letting us come at such short notice.
Now, as I understand, you're going to be interrogating one prisoner, and then hopefully at a later date bringing in a second. Is that right?
Mhm.
So we might wanna also interrogate a second prisoner if that is all right with you.
I was not expecting that, but it's fine. As I've understood from Commander Harriet, your current mission is top priority.
Thank you.
Tippy tops.
I just see Alistair smiling as soon as I put on an accent.
Mm-hmm. Love your accents, that's why we just...
Yeah,
Right.
I give
It's
him the
always
relevant
surprising.
information about who it is we wanted to talk to,
Mhm.
which is both the Black Fox and the one Ryan needed to talk to.
Mandelakis.
But yes,
Mhm. So he goes up to a locker, unlocks it, and opens it. And those of you with the arcane interests see that there are little runes along the edge to protect this locker. But the locker's empty. And he turns to you and says, put all your weapons and wands and whatever in this locker. It'll have to stay here while you're visiting.
I put in my stuff and I'm like, I look at my can and go, oh, my sweet cane. I'm sorry, I'll survive without you for a little bit. And I put it inside the locker.
I don't put anything in the locker.
He looks at you and just like, you one of them there finger twiddling types.
What do you mean by finger twiddling types?
You know, a bollocks. A magic bollocks. Are you a fucking wizard?
No.
Okay, good. And he closes the locker. Right, this way. And he starts following you through the prisons. And says, sorry. Right, so who was this second prisoner you want to visit then?
Mandelakis.
The cat. Right. He hasn't been visited since way back when Nasladnik used to visit.
Well, we think he might have some information that is interesting.
Makes sense, makes sense. Let me just find something quickly.
I was like, which one of us are actually good at interrogating? Because I don't think
Uh,
I'm
you.
very good at interrogating.
You're good to talking to people.
Yeah.
And you have perception, so you are good at...
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You are actually
you,
good at
you have
interrogating people.
deception and diplomacy. You are
Fine.
this is literally your job, party face.
What do I? Okay, fine. Oh, okay.
This is why we have you.
That's why we pay you the big bucks.
That's why you're the boss.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Right.
Also, I have a feeling that the Black Fox guy not going to be so talkative to the pixie.
You can also tell that like this prison, being as off the record as it is, often housing supernatural individuals, is extremely high security and also very much not humane. At least not with most of the prisoners.
Yeah.
At least you, Zara, you remember from last time as well that like they're not against like manipulating someone's brain and doing deep dives into someone's memory to get the information they need from prisoners.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
this is a
these
black
guys are
site.
basically,
This
this
is
is like
very
a
black.
villain creation site.
Yeah.
This is where villains are made.
I mean, literally, Evan was brought here and escaped.
Yes.
So yeah. So yeah, after a while he bangs on a door and says, "Mr. Ayres, you got visitors." And he opens the door and lets you in. And he stops.
Can you spell that name?
Hayes, Hayes. He puts his the warden puts his hand on your on your shoulder, Kaito,
Mhm.
and leans in and whispers a word to you. It's not important which word, but he whispers a word to you, and says, "If you say that word out loud, we'll come rushing in. It's a magical word."
Just for reference for me, would that be like a safe word for like shit is going down, or is it for like whenever we need to leave anyway?
No, for shit's going down. Like you can
Okay,
just knock
yep.
on the door if you want to leave normally, but if something
Yep.
goes bad, you can
Yep.
say this safe word and the security will take effect.
Okay. Is also Jeremiah with us in this?
I think Jeremiah might be assisting some other research right now.
Yep.
Probably
His
related.
assets are useful elsewhere.
Yeah, his assets are useful elsewhere. Like he's probably I would assume that Harriet asked him to like negotiate with Archangel in trying to see if they have any knowledge of Black Fox
Mind wipes.
or mind wipes, like relaying info because they are an ally, relaying info that they might want to have their agents checked.
Mm.
Actually, yeah, I'd assume, and this is just meta info, for the players, but I would assume that he's asked to relay information to Archangel to have some of their agents checked, like of course Blue or what was his other's name? He used to be formerly known as Ape Sapien, now renamed to Rod. He would, because he is a Thule, that I have to double check him, and probably also Ronnie because she was involved with the players from season 1, would have to be checked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Probably Red as well then.
yeah, probably Red as well. So good luck trying to ask him to sit still while someone reads his brain.
It's not our problem.
No,
That's
no.
Archangel's problem.
And also James.
Before the DM gives us a
Yeah.
lore campaign for doing that.
And yeah, also Jane Roper, who was involved with
Yep.
you. In fact, she was the
11.
one that's 11. She was the one that sent you to the Unseelie.
Right.
So that
Yep.
she would have to be checked. So that's probably what he's doing, Jeremiah. He's probably negotiating that and overseeing that operation because obviously Direwolf doesn't want to reveal too much information about what happened. So he's overseeing that. But yeah, so you're let into this prison cell with a oh, I had his name just now, Mr. Hayes.
Yeah, Mr. Something Hayes.
James. What? James.
Sure.
James Hayes. Who sees the three of you enter And upon seeing Zara, he immediately just like spits.
Mm.
Well, that's a black fox confirmed.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. Kaito
Yeah,
probably
he doesn't say
first try.
anything.
No. Kaito first gonna basically do I guess a perception / insight that doesn't exist to
Mhm.
just get the general vibe beyond. Yeah, no, he hates pixies.
That's
If we
yeah,
can do that.
it's a society role.
It's a society role.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
The
anyone else want to
one
join in on this, that would be great because I am untrained.
Yeah, I can do society.
Please do, because this is mine.
So yeah, he clearly seems unsatisfied with the fact that Zara is here. A clear distaste just for the fact that she's not human.
Ugh, so racist. Who'd have thought?
He disagrees with your character selection.
Yep.
Did we get any information on him before we came in about like why he's here? Because
Do
like
you know
we are
he's in a
officially not on. Yeah, we're not on bad terms with Black Fox,
yeah.
but
So
officially.
yeah, so you would have you would have been given like a clipboard or a file while you were
Mhm.
walking the hallway. I forgot to say you would have been given that.
Yeah.
And from skimming through it, you can tell that he was a watcher. Okay, he was aware of the supernatural, and his job was that if he saw anything suspicious, he would report it to Direwolf. But he himself was not supernatural in any way. He was just aware of supernatural world. They are watchers. That is also what Vrask's parents, his adoptive parents, were. His which I believe was his uncle who adopted him.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were also watchers because they were aware of the supernatural, but they were not involved in it in any other way other than reporting supernatural stuff.
Mhm.
And so he used to be that. But then I guess it's 1 or 2 years ago, not really that important the exact date, it was discovered that he had slowly started leaking information to Black Fox on like if he like discovered locations of there's the person living in the town next door is a fae, he would leak that info to Black Fox instead of to Direwolf, which he was supposed to do.
Right.
He
Naughty
was,
boy.
and when he was apparently confronted about it and by some Direwolf agents who said like, hey, you're under investigation, we believe you've been leaking information and we need to check your house. He apparently pulled a gun on one of the agents because the agent was not human.
Mm.
And so he was arrested and brought here.
Right.
He has been imprisoned for 3 months. And apart from obviously hating supernaturals, his record is otherwise clean, and in prison he's been well behaved.
Well, do you like humanity?
He looks at you. What kind of a stupid question is that? Of course I like humanity. It's our Earth.
Hmm. Don't like people coming in trying to do something they shouldn't.
What's that supposed to mean?
Seems like your little Black Fox friends might be a little bit not so on the good side of humanity as you might think.
Eh. They help us serve humans, not those. And he nods towards Zara.
Hmm.
Wouldn't
Sarah's
necessarily
just,
say that.
I think Sarah's just standing in the corner, like bad cop style, like in the shadows. Like, her silhouette, just sort of as intimidating as a pixie can be in a silhouette.
Hey, I played an intimidating pixie before. It works well.
Yep.
Okay, I'm losing a little bit. The Black Fox, they had been part of the tracking Zoe thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
That-
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong in lying and claiming that Black Fox
Yeah,
are
yeah.
part of releasing the Shadow Curse.
I mean,
No.
yeah, I mean,
there might be.
one thing that I don't think it's hidden. Well, maybe Zara would have looked this up because you were interested in the girls you met in Rockmount
Mhm.
and tried to do a bit of research on them. And then of course you met them in Guard in
Yep.
Canada. But 'cause what I'm trying to get at is the report on the fact that Black Fox took a hostile takeover of New Haven or whatever it was called in Canada. Took a
Yeah.
hostile takeover of the town and killed the parents of one of the girl who was supposed to be Lemur, who ended up being an NPC. Because she was
Yep.
killed. She was killed, and her parents were also killed just out of they're related.
Yeah.
But the parents were
So-
actually not Fae. Only the girl was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think Zara might have read the report and not really paid too much attention because you were more focused on the girls who obviously survived. But you would be aware of Black Fox isn't afraid to kill
Yeah.
associates of the supernatural. They might not
Uh,
actively
I'll
go out and
try
kill a
and-
whole town, but they're not afraid of killing associates.
Or holding an
Mhm.
entire town hostage.
So, yeah.
Traumatizing him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sort of, I guess, kind of sort of bring up that they are not very nice, like, to anyone that is even, like, anyone that's even just slightly associated, even though they wouldn't even be aware of it.
If you're gonna make an omelette, you gotta break a few eggs.
I don't think an entire town is a few eggs. Really. Do you? Because I don't. Never mind that they are definitely up to no good with how they are acting currently, so we need to just kind of talk to some of them. And I'll try to sort of first get them to reveal any locations sort of through diplomacy first before trying to do kind of any sort of intimidation or deception checks. By continuing on that Canada-esque way, if that is possible.
So yeah, you're trying to like push him to kind of admit that Black Fox aren't good. But he seems
that they are nowhere as good as like he thinks they are.
Yeah, but he seems still like convinced that like after talking to him for a while, he seems convinced that like Earth is for the humans, or material realm is for the humans, and the Fae belong in the Fae realms, the Seelie. And
well, I don't want to reveal to him about the curse, so that seems like a bad idea.
Ask if he also has a problem with black people.
I mean,
No.
meta-wise, your character can, but we're not going to roleplay that part. Let's just say it like that. But
Hayes is a real douchebag, is what you're saying.
he seems like he has a couple of like racist tendencies, but he's like because he refers to like black people as they kind of thing, those kind, right? You can tell he has a bit of the language there
Right.
of a racist, but he does say like no, those kinds of people are born on Earth, so they deserve to stay. Kind of like he can tell that he has the racist
Okay.
tendencies, but he's not like no, black people shouldn't be killed like Faye should.
What about Faye that is born on here on Earth? Hmm.
He kind of goes into more of a when you give like legit arguments against his words, he kind of
Yeah,
goes
it
in.
starts to loophole. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
typical.
Yeah. He goes into the like, yeah, you're trying to catch me in a loophole or trying to make me eat my own words, so blah blah blah. He kind of goes a bit more defensive. But you can't seem to like change his mind on it.
Well, okay. I'm not trying. Then I'm gonna drop trying to change his mind, but I'm still trying to convince him to give us information about where we can get in contact with them.
Mm-hmm. Roll me a. It would be a.
Have any good?
No, I guess it would have to be diplomacy. Because you're not outright trying to lie to him or fool him. You're trying to negotiate and get him to
Yeah.
realize that his information could save humans, I guess, is what you're trying to get
Yeah.
him to fall for, sort of. So it would be diplomacy.
Fine.
Depending on how well
Level
you
5
roll.
is not great.
Yeah, so I think the way you do it is you do use some truth. You like
Mhm.
you get him to answer questions that he can't like more or less yes or no questions. Like, is it wrong for Black Fox to hunt down a little girl who's human, born of human parents, if they suspect she's Fae but have no proof? Right? You're kind of going that route. And then, of course, he says, well, no, they should get proof first. And then, but you keep building on the same story about hunting this little girl who's just a suspect, but not actual Fae. And you're basically feeding in truth about Black Fox hunting Zoe without specifically saying it's Zoe, but just saying there's a girl on the run who they just suspect. Without going into too many details, but using like bits of truth so he can like, because you're thinking like if he has knowledge of this, then he will know, yeah, they were hunting a girl and it was top secret and no one knows why they were hunting her because that was top secret. And he's like, wait, was she innocent? You're kind of trying to.
They triggered a whole bunch of supernatural incidents that, if it had not been for us, could have hurt other people.
Yeah, so you're trying to like weave in a bit of truth so that if he'd heard any of the Black Fox info about this hunt, obviously he was an associate, he wasn't Black Fox himself, so he wouldn't have all the sensitive info, but he might have known that they were hunting her.
Yeah.
So you try to lure him into thinking that she's just an innocent girl with nothing supernatural, and trying to lure him into that side of it, thinking. And eventually he says that he'll tell you where they might take suspects who are not confirmed.
Okay.
But only if she leaves. And he points at Sarah.
Wow. Okay, fine. Oh, you're a little scared of me. Okay, it's fine. I'll step out of the shadows and go out
I
now.
give you a little bit of a look at honestly, don't push it.
Are you gonna leave, Sarah?
Yeah.
Yeah. As you turn and leave, you hear him mutter under his breath, "Fucking Vrask's bitch."
Oh shit, that's what's up.
Oh boy, he knew who you were.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You gonna let it go, or are you gonna?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like kind of breathes out, breathes in, and just leaves.
Yeah. The rest of you as well. You also hear this, of course, but
Yeah.
I don't think it hits you as hard. But after Zara leaves, he gives you a location. There's several, though
Mhm.
he wouldn't bet on the one in England. There is a dock warehouse in Dover on the east side of England, but they don't keep people there. They send them over to France straight away, and then into
France.
well, it's the closest city,
Hmm.
the closest country, right? They operate a lot out of France, Germany, Poland, like the Central Europe countries.
Yeah.
Um,
Kaito mentally also compares the locations he gets with the map from the safe house thingy
mhm.
they got in Germany.
Yeah, so you do notice one of the safe houses in, I believe it was Panevėžys in Lithuania, he mentions. He doesn't mention the others, though, that you have on your map. But he does mention that there is quite a large facility in the east of France. Why is this map? There we go. In the east of France, just outside Metz. That's France, yeah. He does mention a facility just outside Metz in France, which is close to the German border and Luxembourg for that matter. There's quite a big facility there that obviously he doesn't know much about it, but he does know that a lot of people are sent there.
Well, you might have saved a young girl's life. I say to him, and
He doesn't
do we
seem,
get any?
yeah, he doesn't seem happy. Like, you can tell that like he realizes he's just been a turncoat for two factions. So you realize like he's in general just not a very happy person right now.
Yeah, sure.
But so you don't think you should push him too much more, but
Oh no.
you can ask a bit more if you want.
Geez, what else would I ask? Out of character, if anyone else has any good
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Mostly, I'm wondering, do we need this guy alive anymore?
Sadly, we're not allowed to murder the prisoner.
I'd also assume while Kaito is doing the talking, Rai, you're holding the file on him. Just like out of courtesy, you're holding it. If you want, you can peek at it, see if you find anything else in there.
Yeah, sure. With my lowest perception on the team.
Hey, much credit.
You do spot something that, in retrospect, after like because after he like you heard him mention Vrask and Zara, right? He clearly knew
Yeah.
who she was. Rai, you had a quick look through the folder again, and you might have found how he knows who Zara is. He is because his name was it James? I said James Hayes.
Yeah.
he has a sister who attended DIREWOLF Academy.
Oh,
His sister was called Aurora Hayes and went in the same class as Naz and Vrask.
Aurora Hayes. Is that familiar? The name?
That's Naz's old girlfriend.
Oh shit!
Except she ended up marrying someone else who was killed by Kentimentiu. And then she went
Wait, is this the one
AWOL.
with the Fey wings?
Yeah, I think
No,
she...
that's the.
No.
Yeah. That was the one with the girlfriend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's
yeah, she had,
the
yeah,
wrote the book.
No, it wasn't the one who wrote the book. That was Erica.
No.
Who
Okay.
wrote the book.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Oh, okay.
Aurora,
I'm missing which one it
Aurora was half Fae, indeed. But after her husband was killed by Kentimentiu, she went rogue because she was trying to track him down. So
Did we ever find her?
Nas found her, but she was like vigilante level obsessed with revenge. But when you're looking through the folder, you realize that, she went in that class. You don't know the whole story between her and Naz, but you just realize that, she was in Naz and Vrask's class. And you know enough of the history that you probably have like a... Oh, wait, was it her whose husband was one of the Kentamenti's victims? Maybe that coincides with when James started hating the Fae. Because he lost his sister. Quote unquote, lost.
Right.
She went AWOL.
I will go up to Kaito and like point on it in the file and mention. So, does this? Do you think this correlates with when he turned coat?
Kaito does a mental math. Would that match from what we know?
Roughly, yeah. He would have turned coat maybe a couple of months to half a year, sometime after Aurora went missing.
Do we still have a way of contacting Aurora?
No, but
Or is she like just gone?
she's still AWOL. But you know that Zara has a way of contacting Naz.
And Nash can definitely contact Aurora.
Yes.
Sure.
I'm wondering if how he would feel about Black Fox getting to his sister.
Yeah. Like,
Mm.
I'm like, do you miss your sister?
He suddenly, like, you see something changes in his demeanor as he you clearly hit a nerve. And after a brief like moment of anger on his face, he kind of turns to hysteria as he starts to laugh. And he almost sounds a bit like an insane person for a moment as he suddenly starts ranting on about, like, oh, of course you're gonna use my sister against me. I mean, everything here in the dog pound is by the book, right? It's following the Geneva Convention to a T. You're not gonna, like, brainwash and
I
abuse
interrupted
me.
him, like,
You're probably all illusions anyway, right? He goes into that kind of
I
rant.
figured we try and contact her to see her again. I mean, I doubt that the Black Fox would do that. I mean, Black Fox would probably go around and murder her. Don't you think?
He stands up very quickly, and you get to roll a reflex save. As he is
I thought he
going
was
to...
was he not any way restricted?
You're in his cell, so no.
Okay.
He was like sat on his bed.
Can I interpose myself between Kaito and this guy?
Yeah, you don't need to roll a reflex for that, Rai, because you are trained combatant. You can just do that. But yeah, Kaito, you got a good roll, so if you want, you can say the safe word. or you can just step back and let
I'll
Rai
step
step in. Okay. Yeah. So he's gonna, like, you can tell that he's leaning up for an attack and like pounces up from the chair for an attack, and you step in and just manage to grab both his wrists and restrain him.
Mm-hmm.
But he is furious at this. And
So, you want me to set him on fire?
As much as I would like that, I don't think that is a good idea. Now, do you really
Can
think
I roll
it's
to grapple him?
you don't need to. He's not like malnourished to like, oh shit,
Mhm.
he needs a hospital, but he is definitely not well fed. So he's way weaker than you. So you don't
Like,
need to
really?
roll for that.
Black Fox? They're not gonna protect her. So why did you turn to their side?
Uh, he just screams that it's the Supernatural's fault she disappeared. And the Supernatural and the Direwolf's fault that she was never brought home. Um, he you could tell by, like, I can't articulate it correctly, but you can tell by the way he's speaking, he assumes she's dead. Because obviously there's been
told-
he hasn't seen
Yikes.
any report of her being
Right.
alive.
So, what if we can prove her not only be alive, but meet you?
Rai, you feel he stops resisting and then relaxes a bit more.
I'm still holding on.
Oh yeah, of course. But you can feel that he's not fighting back
Why do you think
anymore.
she's dead? She's not dead. Why would she be dead? Unless Black Fox did something.
Yeah, I see the message, Alistair. We will be calling it soon. He
Thank you.
Hey Chaza, welcome in. He says that he basically says you're lying to him. Of course she'd be dead. No one, no matter how skilled they are, can track down a necromancer on their own and live to tell the tale.
Oh, the necromancer's dead. Sorry to say.
He kind of hesitates a bit and like, yeah, but
Been dead for years.
that was months after she disappeared.
From what I know, she has been in contact with us after that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, she's aware of that. Like, I can get in contact with my associates, see if they can talk to her, give you proof.
You can tell that he's like trying to process this information, as he's been locked up here for a long time and just always thought his sister was dead. As he No, I don't believe you. If she were alive, she would have contacted me.
Would she? With how you're talking to Black Fox? With how you are ratting out other people? Would she be safe?
Rai, you can feel him trying to like compress to like curl up a bit. If you want to like let him a bit.
Nah, he's staying right where he is.
He's like completely flat. Yeah. Yeah. He seems completely defeated. He's trying like I assume because of the way you grappled him, you're on top of him and he's face up, being held down.
I grabbed his hand and then just
Or
forced him down to his knees, so he's on his knees, and I'm just holding him there.
yeah, okay. So yeah, he looks away. He seems like his demeanor has completely changed. He's way more he seems like he's accepted defeat and that he might even realize that he's in the wrong now. But he's too broken to be able to speak it. You had like you had a good diplomacy roll earlier, so I'm gonna say that like the best strat now probably is to let him be, let what you've said sink in, and like just tell him that you'll contact her.
I do that, and I motion for Rai to let him go before we leave. We'll be back.
Rai sighs and just lets go. Takes a step back. Folds her arms.
So yeah, you leave the cell and realize that you've either just very severely broken a man, or you can actually get into contact with Aurora and you've saved a man.
I'll try. You might still have even more information that's important, so.
Yeah. Okay, so one thing you did learn though, you learned of a Black Fox place in France, which you could try. But one thing that actually contradicts him is that he said you probably won't have much to gain from visiting the warehouse in Dover, as they ship people off straight away. But your mission was to find and capture an officer who would be at the warehouse in Dover.
Yeah, so that might actually be the best place for us anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, I know we are dragging on a bit. So I think we are going to do the Mondello interrogation next time, as that might take a bit of time as well.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good.
Though he is literally a war criminal, so you don't need to hold back as much on him. So, yeah.
Good thing about being kineticist, your weapons are everywhere.
Yeah. So yeah, you learned some information in this session and managed to progress as well. I'm going to snooze that ad. Let's go back to this splash page. There you go. And yeah, so the goal now is you, as I said, next session you're going to interview or interrogate Mandelu. Just doing a quick summary for stream. Interrogate Mandelu, trying to find a whereabouts of a death club for Rai to have fun in. Just a bit of meta information as the DM. I am looking forward to that because I've done a lot of prep, way more than I should have, but I've had fun making the Death Club. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, you have now a lead on the whereabouts of, or potential whereabouts of a Black Fox higher ranking that you can deal with.
Yeah.
Nice.
as he's part of your team, Jeremiah would have also sent you messages, just like, "Hey, safely arrived in New York," kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
we,
you're
we,
aware.
we've been
Yeah.
updating Jeremiah, and he's been
Yeah.
updating us.
Yeah. And I also think you would have probably contacted Ezra in terms of Vermes. Because
Yeah.
Ezra
Most
is
definitely.
because Ezra is with Argyle up in Canada in the
Mhm.
guard. So you would have been contacting him, and he would have been assisting with doing some research up there as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, some good solid leads for next session. For anyone else watching stream, we try to stream this bi-weekly, though it has just crashed with everyone recently, so this is the first time we've got to stream Direwolf since February. But
Yeah.
yeah. Our goal is
it's
yeah, it's been
nice to be back.
It is nice to be back. Our goal is to stream every 2 weeks, so we'll try and be back 2 weeks from now. We will discuss this in Discord, the group. Other than that, myself, I try to stream every day now. Enshrouded. I've been streaming every day for 3 or 4 weeks now, apart from Easter, of course. I was away. I am already hooked on that. So I will be back. Let's see. Tomorrow, Alistair, you are not playing your campaign, so tomorrow we have ours.
We'll
believe.
see. My girlfriend's come home from being like a month in Poland, so
I'll
I
assume
might have
no
to.
then.
Yeah, that sounds like a no to me.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
means I will probably then be streaming Enshrouded tomorrow after work. And then continuing on Tuesday and Wednesday as well.
Cool.
So yeah, thank you for stopping by, everyone. Thank you for stopping by, Chaza. Are you the Chaza I think you are? Yeah, you are. Also a streamer, so I'll give a quick shout out for you.
Is Chasa streaming? Can we raid Chasa right now?
I don't think we can stream raid Chaza right now, but she does stream.
Chasa, quickly turn on stream so we can raid you.
Next time you'll be here. Thank you very much. It's very much appreciated.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry you didn't catch all of it, but next session, going after a Black Fox agent, so maybe some combat. That could be fun. Thank you for watching, everyone, and thank you for the follows yesterday, Danger Dan and Daniil. And I will see you all most likely tomorrow for more Enshrouded. Have a good rest of your Sunday,
folks.
everyone. And Discord is muted. I am